Welcome to the Rupununi Music and Arts Festival. I'm Jaslyn Hall, I'm the festival administrator. The festival team comes from all over the world. I live on the beautiful island of Barbados and I'm coming to you from Accra Beach on the south coast. This year we are celebrating 7 years of the Rupununi Festival. It all started back in 2014 at the Rockview Lodge in Anai, Guyana. So we're going to take you back there now to relive and to see the highlights, the interviews, the music, the arts and the dance of the festival 2014 and 2015.
And will be participating.
My poem is entitled Growing Up with My Culture. I am a tribe of Makushi Arawak, growing up in the North Savannah by watching at the smiling sun rising from the east to the west, inhaling the fresh air coming from the north of Rupununi going to the south, spending most time with my indigenous father by telling me some interesting Amerindian stories as I eat my roast croissant and kenang, drink my sweet kasiri, and do some paishara and mari-mari dancing with my father as the cool breeze passes by into North Rupununi. Thank you.
Rupununi po Guyana anak tazesani Murube komandan ko North Rupununi po Guyana anak tazesani Murube komandan ko North Rupununi po Guyana anak tazesani na 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 Rupununi po Guyana anak tazesani Murube ko Rupununi po Guyana anak tasesani Murube komandan kong Rupununi po Guyana anak tasesani Murube komandan kong Rupununi.
My name is Colin Edwards. I am of Rockview, North Rupununi, and I would like to give you a little story about how the Rupununi Music and Arts Festival came to be. I was fortunate enough about 10, 12 years ago to meet Keith Waite, who himself is a renowned musician in the UK and also teacher of musical instruments. He came to us through Wilderness Explorers, and Tony Thorne of Wilderness Explorers introduced me to him on a fam trip. The object of the fam trip was obviously to promote Guyana as a tourism destination for the United Kingdom market, tourism market. And Keith, being a musician, added to the product of nature, indigenous culture, the wildlife, and being a Guyanese living overseas in England. It was a wonderful experience getting to know Keith because his history in music was through the police force band and his love for flutes, which he shared with me, and my love for jazz. Together, spontaneously, we thought, what a lovely location this would be to have a jazz festival. We already have a jazz festival in St. Lucia, which is world famous. And so that thought remained in my mind until one day I traveled to London on the way to my son Janio's wedding in Prague, and while in London I got in touch with Keith and wanted to relive his visit to Rockview. And we met, but not only did we meet, but he brought with him a special friend. This special friend is no other than Bob Ramdani, who, as festival director for the to-be Rupununi Music and Arts Festival, loved the idea and arranged to come to Guyana to get to know Rockview. Bob has Guyanese parentage. He's a Trinidadian, but I can't remember, one of his parents is Guyanese, and lived in England, where he built a tradition for himself with humanitarian objectives and teaching and music, etc. And when he set foot on here at Anai, he couldn't keep still. He went all over the place, and he said, Colin, this is where I'm going to do this is where I'm going to do that. We've got to bring Keith. We've got to make this thing happen. And it was quite amazing how spontaneously the vision of a festival came to being.
Fujiyama
pongo Anna. Brun kek se kenangang, brun kek se kenangang, brun ko Anna, pujiamu Anna, muru Anna seru gai na pongo Anna. Liwa ke kai kinangang, liwa ke kai kinangang, brun ko Anna, pujiamu Anna, muru Anna seru gai na pongo Anna. Prishla bet man sa nanggang, prishla bet man sa nanggang, brun kong Anna, pujiamu Anna, muru Anna seru gai na pongo Anna. Prishla bet man sa nanggang, prishla bet man sa nanggang, brun kong Anna, pujiamu Anna, muru Anna seru gai na pongo Anna. MIB ibu zanggang, MIB ibu zanggang, kujiamu Anna, merungkong Anna, muru Anna seru gai na pongo Anna.
Was late and lonely, but the sun was in all its glory. As I sat spellbound on those hills of Reporti, admiring the natural Rupununi beauty. Around me, the rolling green and yellow savanna land. To the east of me, the majestic Makarapan. Away into the distant south, the mighty blue Kanaku, and beautified by the sunset, the well-known Pacaraimas too. As I sat there soliloquizing, it dawned on me that something was missing. While I gazed over this Rupununi evening, I focused my mind on some good reasoning. Visible for miles was the dusty old trail and crisscrossing of tracks. A few ranch houses, barns, and empty corrals seemed to be only shacks. No vaqueros on the plains, doing their normal chores of riding, lassoing, and singing out their regular yee-hoos. All that was moving were donkeys fighting. So sickening. Something was missing, physically missing. As I stared over this vast vaquero range, the idea of missing cattle seemed so strange. Could you imagine that cattle were missing? The famous Rupununi cattle herd slowly diminishing. I remember the good old days from Dadanawa to Takama, chasing thousands of cattle over this famous savanna. Now, there are only occasional carcasses bleached by the weather. Here and there on this great plain might be a lonely, tired rider. Oh, Rupununians, gone are the cattle days. No more bellowing, horse riding, lassoing, or the happy old ways. The twilight, missing cattle, hideous braying, saddened the evening. The distant hooting of owls and morning wind against hills left me grieving. I wondered, could it be politics and development? Or was it rustling, and poor management. The cattle were gone over the border, and here is where I could search and no further. Over hills, throughout valleys, or on the plains, here I'll roam, and here I'll remain, determined to rear cattle once again. Thank you very much. Makushpa uronton, makushpa uronton. Togane bine astakane ne wene kane. Togane bine astakane ne wene kane. Makushpa uronton. Makushpa uronton. Ui devane chap devane prakrida devane. Ui devane chap devane prakrida devane. Makushpa uronton. Makushpa uronton. Makuji uronton. Rutsu kane chingi kane riwo kane. Rutsu kane chingi kane riwo kane. Makuji uronton. Makuji uronton. Tron togane mo togane bro togane. Tron togane mo togane bro togane. Makuji uronton.
It is my great pleasure to invite Mr. Mike Williams, who is chairman of the North Rupununi District Development Board, to say a few words to us here tonight. Mike Williams, please.
Good evening, friends. Purawaglibe yanogong sebala mantari. Muli nilipan ng kota yung moro kemong gombo. Honorable Prime Minister Murabay Nobu, Miss Yvonne Hines, Murabay Tourism Minister Tabudomang, Murabay Sharongong, Mr. Million Affairs, Sharongong de Kemongong, Letemongong, and Mo, Shalom New York, Pong Canapongong, Canada Pongong. Liban ng konaptada sene, anaptada mal sene, ano komando makuisa maptada sene. Muli ning senming tikonde Murabay amul konsil panasimingitane. Mula ning sene anaptada hanadu kembong rekang anaptade mulu bambu. Mulu sene anaptada negar mula ning komandem kong silhi walo na panane mulu bayar magabe. Honorable Prime Minister and friends, good evening. And Mr. Sines, Tourism Minister, all the ministries' representatives, special invitees, delegates, performers, people from Georgetown, Latam, Brazil, even from overseas, maybe from New York, Canada. It's an honor for me as the chairman of the North Rupununi District Development Board that represents 16 villages of the North Rupununi. It's really an honor to be here this evening to bid you welcome. We consider Anai and the North Rupununi, the place of landings of the Makushi people, as one of the most beautiful parts of Guyana. And as such, I welcome you. Enjoy the atmosphere that we have, the beautiful breeze that you're now feeling, which is not polluted. So we would like you to enjoy yourself. It's a learning experience indeed, and we acknowledge your presence here. We would like to learn from you, and we know also that you're learning from us. So with these few words, I bid you welcome to Anai, North Rupununi, as I said before, the most beautiful part of Guyana. So be with us for this evening, tomorrow, and the next day. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Nach Ghana Academy of Dance.
ये निगाहें नश्तर, ये होंठ कौसर, मेरी आगोश में होश भी बेहोश होगा। ये शोखी, ये अदाएं, ये बांकपन, इनकी कीमत भला दुनिया तय कर सकती है क्या? मनवा लागे, ओ मनवा लागे, लागे रे सावरे, लागे रे सावरे, ले तेरा हुआ जिया का जिया का जिया का ये गावरे। मनवा लागे, ओ मनवा लागे, लागे रे सावरे।
beginning of the agriculture season in the village of Arnaputa Valley, the farmers from time to time experience not the real price for their end of product that they would have produced in the farm. Hence came along the idea of turning the peanut into a finished product, and that is peanut butter. The entity was taken on by the women in the Arnaputa Valley, and ever since 2005 until now, they have been producing peanut butter, of which the government entity is the first that became a market for the production of this final product.
Music being something so much in our culture and promoting our culture through nature, our indigenous ways, etc. All of a sudden, the festival came to being. And it was an eclectic experience of not just music, but art and culture. We were able to involve artists from the diplomatic community, artists like George Simon, and it was just magical how Bob was able to manage this thing, stage manage this thing, through what could only be previous experience. And we just loved it. I mean, we fell for it. And this, of course, led to the second festival, on which we built the experience of the first festival by adding a large quantity of marquees, food stalls, craft demonstrations, and it was quite extraordinary how this thing evolved quite magically.
I think that in the first instance, it's a great way of promoting Guyana, but more than that, I think promoting the interior of Guyana, because many people believe sometimes that the coast or Georgetown is where Guyana begins and ends, and I think this is one way of promoting Guyana, the interior of Guyana. But also it has an international flavor. I am advised that there are artists from Brazil, from Ukraine, from certain parts of Africa, from the United Kingdom, America, and many other places. And I think that this is a good way of coming together, different countries, different cultures, because really, through music is an international language. You don't have to understand the words to know what it really means. And so for me, this is a wonderful experience. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. And hopefully this will be an activity that will continue on a yearly basis. I'm advised that the organizers, Mr. Colin Edwards, Mr. Bob Ramdani, that they are going to do this. And as a government, we are going to continue to provide our support. I should also add what this means for the local communities of this area. The Amerindian communities in the neighborhood of Rockview stand to benefit from this entire activity, but also to learn from it. So I am very pleased with what has happened. A lot of work has gone into this. You cannot have an activity like this without quite a lot of work. And I want to congratulate Colin and Bob especially, but all of those who in one way or the other contributed to make this happening, the Ministry of Tourism, of course, but we are very pleased.
Stay tuned for more, guys.
Did you hear about the thief in pussy? Cat they hold down in Sandy Granny. You can't cook and leave it at all. That pussy cat that make you ball is only one way to get relief. They planned one night to capture the thief. And as he went in by my neighbor Sam, and the boy say, "Puss," the cat start to run. They running him. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. That's what Lord Blakey sang, huh? But I like this verse. At first, nobody didn't know it was a pussy cat that thieving so. So they sent down to the CID to borrow Johnny Bob and Monsiki. But the policeman turned and tell them flat, "It's not a human, boys, it's a cat." They couldn't believe the police was right until they jammed the pussy in that night. They ran in him. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Pussy ran in. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. I tell you, hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Meow, 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 I say, boys, at first, nobody didn't know it was a pussy cat that thieving so. So they sent down to the CID to borrow Johnny, Bob and Manzigi. But the policeman turned and tell them flat, "It's not a human, boys, it's a cat." They couldn't believe the police was right until they jammed the pussy in that night. They ran in him. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Pussy running, hold the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. I said, hold the pussy, hold the pussy, the pussy, hold the pussy, the pussy, hold the pussy, hold the pussy cat. Meow.
Volley, volley, volley.
Volley, 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 volley.
Volley, 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 oh Maria.
Volley, 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 volley.
Oh Maria,
hours.
I hope you guys are enjoying the second edition of the Rupununi Music and Art Festival, virtual edition. And we have a lot more really fun parts to come. These are the Rockview years, so what are some of the things you remember about 2014, the first festival, Dennis?
Well, to be honest with you, first festival, it was kind of iffy because everybody seems to be saying it's an impossible task. What the hell y'all going inside the interior to hold? Why you don't hold to the stadium? But that's the whole idea about the Rupununi Music and Art Festival. The word Rupununi, that's why it's been held in the Rupununi, because we want it to be something totally different than what you will get at the stadium. So it was a challenge, and the challenge for me was getting these artists to the interior, and the only way we could have get them to the interior is via plane. And we had two great sponsors, which is in TGA and ASL. Without them, it would have been impossible, because that year the road was really bad, and it took something like 17 hours to get from Georgetown to Rockview, and there's no way we would have able to do that with foreign artists. So that was a challenge for me to get these people from Georgetown. So
I remember that because I went in about a week before to start helping getting things organized, and it was really amazing for me on the first night of the festival to know that a week before there was practically nothing on the site, just a few of the shells of the benabs that you were trying to build, and then to see like a week after everything came together. It was really wonderful. And then, moving on to 2015, we had so much fun. We had a ton of local artists, musicians, spoken word, and it was really nice for me to meet some of these people that I only heard about, like Mighty Gabby, Mark Matthews, people who you heard were Caribbean and Guyanese legends in song and spoken word and so on. But to actually meet them and to have Rockview buzzing for the second time was really great. What are some of the fun or great memories you've had for 2015?
Well, before I go on to 2015, I had a ball when I reached in the interior, because I was the last to go in. I went in with the Filigo group, and I had a fun time when Filigo invited me onto the stage and gave me a shock, some instrument to beat, and boy, I had a ball.
So you performing as part of the band?
Yeah, boy, I enjoy me. Boy, I put on some dance that I didn't even know I had.
There's one thing about having live music going on, right? You camp with these people at night, you be around the bonfire. During the day, you have absolutely no idea what could happen. Just like how you ended up being part of Filigo band for that performance,
Yeah, well, 2015, same way as in 2014, I had to be the last to go in. But when I get in there, I already meet Mighty Gabby in Georgetown, so we had developed a relationship. So we were kind of buddy. Yes. But the amazing part about my part, what I enjoy is I was in a camp where Mighty Gabby was performing, and they had two guests there at the same time, a husband and wife. And Gabby picked up his mic and he made a song pertaining to the two guests, which was amazing.
On the spot.
On the spot. He did not hesitate. He wasn't fumbling for words. It just come like if he had this thing written out. And there's no way he could have done that, because you could never know that the two people would have been there at the time.
Right.
But the 2015, the instruments and those things that they use, I never see, those little tableaux. Boy, those things make music sound real good.
Yeah.
But it was a ball. You had a ball.
Definitely.
You had a ball.
And I hope you guys are having a ball. Stay tuned for the rest of the 2021 second virtual edition of the Rupununi Music and Arts Festival.
Well, enjoy the rest of the show. But to be honest with you, you have to go in there and see it live. Then you will see what it's really about. Seeing it virtual, okay, that's just a preview what you expect. But when you go in there, it's a vast different experience. You'll never experience anything like that. You imagine you bathing and you looking and you seeing the stars while you having a bath. That's something that there's no washroom in Georgetown with no roof attached at the top. So just join us in the next Music and Art Festival in the interior, and trust me, you will have a ball.
That's right. See you in November, all things being equal, at Manari, and enjoy the rest of the show.
गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी के नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी के नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी के नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी के नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन. Thank you.
簡単かな。アイヒットは宮チャージェルチャージを保護してまたピアノ。Pukasila on shimalaye namiye ikjewi chasha nadila on shikawan shi wa o akhe khomya na kha na washte oganamiye oshi Pukasila te wa kantaka on shimalayo mitakia pe akichija wanagi owokia omani washte lo Pukasila wopla tonga how mitakias Thank you very much.
I hope you're enjoying our 7th anniversary special, highlights of the Rockview years.
Hey y'all, hope you're enjoying this virtual Rupununi Music and Arts Festival.
Well, the festival is an amazing opportunity for us to incorporate culture, the richness of our culture, the richness of our music and our art into the tourism product itself. This by itself is an educational experience. For long we have spoken about the beauty of our culture, the competitive advantage of our culture in relation to tourism. And we have been working with the Ministry of Education to develop a program that would incorporate tourism as a mainstream aspect of the curriculum. Because if you're to develop the tourism industry, the tourism market, then tourism has to become an integral part of the educational curriculum. Guyana is also a part of UNISOR, and this festival, which brings together Latin America, the Caribbean, Guyana, North America, exposes our children, young people, and our people generally to the melting pot of culture, of music, of art, and that by itself is an educational educational journey. For me, it was very educating last night, listening to the different music, the different dialect, and just chatting with the many persons who came to the festival. So from an educational perspective, it is good for tourism, it is good for the promotion of culture, and very good for arts and our arts and so on. From a strictly tourism perspective, this festival, I think, has really carved out a niche for itself, and this is going to grow into a tremendous product. I think that this festival is different from the Jazz Festival, it's different from the Trinidad Music Festival, because it targets music at the core, music that is more naturally oriented, and the environment that was selected to host it blended very beautifully with the music. It's music that demonstrates culture of people, beliefs of people, and traditions of people, and that is what makes it a distinctive product and a different product. So I think that this festival has a tremendous future, and definitely the government is going to work on developing in an even bigger way.
Welcome to the Rupununi. Come and celebrate with me. 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 Come and celebrate. Drinking Maratari and Taiwari. Dancing Barishara and Mari Mari. Yeah. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Mapushi and and Patamona. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Makushi and Mapishana. Why and Patamona. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Drinking Karakari and Taiwari. Dancing Barishara and Mari Mari. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Drinking Barakari and Baiwari. Dancing Barishara and Mari Mari. Yeah. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. I say we going to the end in 2014. In 2014. I say we going to the end. Yeah. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Drinking Barakari and Taiwari. Dancing Barishara and Mari Mari. Yeah. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. After we go into the end in 2014. In 2014. After we go into the end. Yeah. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. I say we going to the end in 2014. In 2014. I say we going to the end. Yeah. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate with me. Come and celebrate. Drinking Barakari and Taiwari. Dancing Barishara and Mari Mari. Yes, come
she passes, each one she passes. Oh, how I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly, but each day when she walks through the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tall and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. When she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see. She just walks straight on by. Then she goes to see that girl from Ipanema. That girl from Ipanema. She don't even look at me. And she goes to the sea. She just walks straight on by, straight on by, straight on by, straight on by. She just walks straight on by. Thank you very much. Let's give us some more, and then the keyboard has just arrived, so I want to do something with the keyboard, and then, you know. By the river, I've seen their bags drooping down. The cement's just for the way that your Maggie's back in town. On the sidewalk Sunday morning lays a body who's in line. Someone sneaking round the corner. Is that someone back tonight? Now Louis Miller, he disappeared here after drawing all his cash. And Mackie stands like a sailor. Then I bought them something rash. Now Suki Country, hey, Mr. Johnny Dollar, Polly Peach Hair, Sweet Lucy Brown, oh, the line forms on the riding. Now the Mackey's back in town.
Hey, it's Gavin and Chucky. We folking up the place, and we hope you're enjoying this virtual edition of the Rupununi Music and Arts Festival as we celebrate 7 years and take a look back at the rock few years. That's right where Chucky and I met for the first time, performed together for the first time, and we still jamming right now. We folking up the place.
Presenting Nach Ghana Academy of Dance.
This is something special.
for joining us. This is Patiala House. In it.
Long dal shikara, oh baby tera jaan se pyara, oh baby ਐਵੇਂ ਚਮਕਾ ਦਿਲ ਸਾਡਾ, ਕਿ ਦਿਖ ਗਿਆ ਪਿਆਰ ਇਹ ਪਟਿਆਲਵੀ। हो जब से दिल हारा ओ बदला मैं सारा का सारा ओ बेबी जिਵੇਂ गबरू दिलदारा ओ बेबी तेरा यार ये पटियालवी पटियाला पैक लगा के नाचूंगा नाचूंगा पटियाला ढोल बजा के कह दूंगा हीरे मेरी जुल्फे तेरी मेरे हाथों की ये लकीरें बनती हैं प्यारा ओ बेबी हमें चमका दिल साजा कि दिख गया प्यार ये पटियालवी जब से दिल हारा ओ बदला मैं सारा का सारा ओ बेबी जिਵੇਂ गबरू दिलदारा ओ बेबी तेरा यार ये पटियालवी
ओए होए पटियाला पैग लगा के कहंदा है कदली मिल तुझ पे रहंदा है चन्ना मेरे छठो पड़े मुझे से मीठी कुर्सी बातें करने दे
लोग गल शिकारा ओ बेबी तेरा ओ बेबी हमें कि दिख गया प्यार ये पटियालवी
As a result of COVID-19 and the pandemic, we are definitely committed to keeping the flame alive, and for this purpose we have created this online experience of which I am introducing a part that will be supplemented through Bob and his wonderful team of supporters and volunteers. So I would just like to end up by wishing all the best for the continuity of something that we created together in London, and we would like to continue in the most beautiful part of the world, which is the Rupununi of Guyana. Thank you very much, and it's been wonderful sharing these moments with you.
Te matatielo. He used kawan sian kielo. Naha. And Petu was stay wampo. What I said in my language, hello and greetings to all of you, my relatives.
Wonderful beginning and a launch for the second Rupununi Music
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Happy to see you.
It's wonderful to be here. You know, I keep telling people in Georgetown all the time, Georgetown is not Guyana. And yes.
Tá rolando uma oficina de talho e madeira básico
para as pessoas que não tiveram esse primeiro contato com a arte. Mas o meu trabalho é justamente para uma eu chamo educação ambiental, que é reaproveitamento de madeira, porque eu entalhe cabeça, mente e execução. Estou feliz de estar participando, né, de interagir em outro país, uma experiência diferente para mim. Estou vendo que eles estão muito bem, né? E a minha experiência é que eles aprendam, quando eu voltar do próximo ano, que essa semente venha transformar em grandes artistas.
Choque de furacão. Quero espinhar na garganta, se for de tucunaré. Eu quero um choque de furacão. Quero ferrada da raia, bem na ponta do teu pé.
I don't want no pollution in this land of the Aborigines. So what is this world coming to?
Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the festival highlights of our Rockview years. You can follow us on Facebook. We've got a YouTube festival channel, or you can go to our website, www.rupununifestival.com, and there you can donate to help us grow the festival and support the local and indigenous musicians and artists of the Rupununi. Because of COVID-19, we have to do things a little differently. So our next festival highlights are on Sunday, the 18th of April. I hope you'll join me then. Bye-bye.